one thing I think we need to make clear, right, is just based on how this panel is operating right now, right? There's several kings on a panel, and only one queen. But yet, it's the kings who are struggling to communicate one with another, right? So how can we expect when it comes to the relationship world that these kings are going to get the outcomes that they want to get when they can't even show that they have the ability to engage in basic communication?
Now, that in and of itself, I wasn't there at that point. I had already left the panel, right?
Everybody has an idea. Every man knows how to communicate, except incels, right? Men, to somebody get to a relationship and get through a marriage, knows how to communicate, right? Or even have sex, right? Knows how to communicate. Just because the outcome is bad or unsuccessful doesn't mean that a man does not know how to communicate. So Brownsville is already pandering. It's pity people who communicated very well still got divorced or still broke up, right? Because when you communicate, sometimes you have disagreements.
Now, that wonderful woman who has an AI-generated picture up there, she said what she had to say, always taking shots at me. I ignore her. She's of no consequence to me at all. So I don't even mention her name, don't even talk about her, don't even think about her. It is what it is. We all know that she's a very confused woman. Like the one time where I actually did speak to her on DJ Witch Doctor's chat recently. I've had conversations with her before, but the one time in recent history when I had conversations with her, she tried to come in telling me I was wrong, only to be proven that I was right. So it is what it is. We know that she perpetually stays confused and she perpetually stays wrong. We know this. So that's not even a question. No debate. We're not even going to go there. You know what I'm saying? Someone said toothless cherries. I don't know. I didn't say. I'm legally blind. Yo, what's up, Bucket 88? Bucket 88 is in the building. Good to see you, family. Always good to see you. Always good to see. Hey, that Emma Effa said it back in the day. Miranda writes these Emma Effas. It takes them 5 minutes to start pandering. Immediate pandering, but we're not going to go and do this. We're not gonna, yeah, it comes for manifestors all the time. Absolutely. You already know what that is. That's that Thunderbird and Muscatel she drinks mix it together. Oh Lord. And don't even know, just picks up on our energy. Yeah, you know, but she always got those shots. What's up? And we ain't think about her because she's of no consequence. I heard AR is handsome as F. I don't know, but that's the rumor going around. Okay, a random independent. Shout out to you. You can think that if you want to about yourself. Shout out to Gas Mask NFL. Shout out to AR. AR is doing his thing. All right, so this is for you, Brownsville. If you're still in the building, this is for you, young man. This is what you said. So this part is not about me. I'm not narcissistic. I don't have main character syndrome, so I know that this particular portion is not about me. Let's continue.
But brethren, you see, this is really, really the issue here, right? These men who portray themselves to be stand-up men, who say they're into building the community and doing the right thing, but whenever we hear them speak online, they fail to understand how to properly articulate their point and communicate without getting so easily emotionally triggered. Or they're sitting here constantly and consistently complaining about women, right? But yet,
now, while the crazy thing is that is not about me. He's trying to make it about me, but that's not about me. Anybody that watches my content knows that I don't complain about women. I don't. That's not what my content is about. It's not about complaining about women. As a matter of fact, I've been called by many people who cool with me white knight, not simp really, but white knight and white knight, and that's mostly when I'm guilty. I'm being accused of being guilty of being a white knight, right? So
yeah, definitely iZZY definitely doesn't complain about women. And he isn't a simp either. But so I don't know why Brownsville's accusing him, but I don't know how Brownsville is going to come on a place and tell us men that, oh, well, you guys aren't communicating, or when y'all communicate, y'all get emotional. Now, do we have our disagreements? Do we get a little boisterous sometimes? Yes. But the men's complaint about the women they're delusional. And they just want the women to stop being delusional. It's pretty much that's the whole argument of men. That's the complaint, right? Which is a fair argument. It's fair. But then again, I think that's delusional to think that women are going to stop being delusional. But it's a fair argument, right? It's a fair argument. But they're not really men. They are saying that they want their women back. So it is a solution-based argument. It's not just, oh, well, we don't want our women. We don't want to be with our women. Men, when we make our points, we make our points to bring our women back home, into the house.
I don't understand. How does that equate? Well, it doesn't, but that doesn't stop them from painting false narratives, but that's supposed to be about me. But let's continue, and let's further listen to the context clues, Brownsville, that you know that you're taking shots and digs at me and my character. Let's continue, because maybe I'm off about this because this doesn't apply to me, but let's go further. Let's go further.
You ask these brothers, you say, hey, I understand you talking about you want to have balanced conversations.
That's definitely
this,
me.
that, and the other.
That's definitely me.
But do you believe in egalitarian relationships? Or do you believe in the relationships where men are supposed to lead, right?
So, no, I don't. So I believe in relationships where men are supposed to be the leader. But again, the pseudo psychology and false equivalency that goes down in these spaces, the pseudo psychology and false equivalency that goes down in these spaces is absolutely astounding. So yes, I believe men should be the leaders, but that doesn't mean men don't control women. See, you all say that you believe that women have their own autonomy and are human and can decide for themselves and are intelligent beings, but you behave as if you don't believe that, because you make it seem like women are a remote control car and men have the remote and we could just make them do whatever we want to do whenever we want them to do it. That is not how relationships
Ruthless approves that message.
Work. We respect women over here. We respect the fact that women have a mind of their own. They have a rights of their own, and they have the right to decide for themselves. We respect that over here. We don't attempt to control women and make them do anything. We recognize their autonomy. We recognize their divinity, and not that the black woman is God, at the same time that we are all children of the Most High and have the God essence within each and every one of us. So
Ruthless Truth don't approve that message.
we recognize that over here. So we know that a woman has to want to follow you. She has to want to do what you say. She has to want to work and cooperate with you. If she does not, there's absolutely nothing that you could do about it to make her. But you guys are supposed to be the simps. You guys are supposed to be the ones that's rooting for women and going for women, but yet and still you make it seem as if they are remote control cars, as if they are puppets, and we are the ventriloquists. with our hand up their ass, telling them what to say and what to do. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Once again, the godly, divine, holy, and natural orders, God, man, women, children, boys, then girls. Shout out to Emperor Cole. Let's get to
it. Because if you believe in egalitarian relationships, and I can understand your premise.
You sound like you're underwater, dude.
You went foggy. Yeah, hold on.
You sound like you're underwater, my guy. Scuba Steve.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you back.
Scuba Steve, you went for a dive again in the midst of the conversation, Scuba. Now, I want you to understand, for those who are not initiated, who didn't see this, this is Brownsville talking about me unprovoked. I'm trying to call you beyond.
I want to bring up Yeshua HaMashiach,
which I always bring up Yahshua. Peace be upon him. I always bring up Yahshua. Love Yahshua.
But they failed to mention that when Yeshua HaMashiach was walking this earth, he didn't have a lot of rebuke and criticism for the regular followers. He spent the majority of his 3 years that he was walking this earth prophesizing. He was criticizing and rebuking the spiritual leaders, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? And he was educating the people who were following them about the right way to go. Because those brothers, and they were mostly men, he was saying they were hypocrites, right? So the same men who are saying, Cuzzo, you're grifting, are they going to tell Yeshua HaMashiach that he was grifting? When he was criticizing and rebuking the men who purported themselves to be leaders?
Z, that is diabolical. That's diabolical, bro.
Nigga, what? You lost your rabbit ass mind.
So for those of you who's not catching what he's throwing down, it's subliminal. He's a diabolical dude. And this is what I'm talking about. Shout out to my guy, Smitty. He said Christmas is on the 25th, 2 + 5. Thank you very much, Smitty. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you to my brother, Smitty, for supporting the show, supporting the stream. I mean,
thanks, man.
I'm on my grind to get this money. I can't stop it till I'm filthy. Rich with the people, Zippo like the rock I drop. I ain't no trapper, I'm a hustler.
That's some solid qualities underneath that, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, self-reflection, accountability, responsibility, ambition. All of those solid values underneath that.
And see, that's what the problem is, right? I dropped the link. That's what the problem is. The problem is inherently there's nothing wrong.
That's why I'm kind of confused by the thumbnail, because even in the clip that you just played, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never called you out by name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, any type of rebuke that you would call a rebuke, it was a question. I said, well, if these brothers feel this way, and then I would ask a question, right? And then even when I asked the question about Yeshua HaMashiach, I answered, I said, no, they probably wouldn't, right? So if you can enlighten me on how those questions or how my verbiage was you seeing that as a personal attack against you, and then, we can go ahead and go from there.
Absolutely. Give me a second. Let me keep playing this a little bit more to give the context, and then I will substantiate it after this plays. Is that fair enough?
That's fair.
Okay. Let me do that. And then I'll tell you what I've heard.
And then we can go out to the world and get the woman that's going to be attracted to our leadership. But then these brothers say, well, no, this is barbershop talk. This is how men talk when they congregate together in the barbershop. I don't know about y'all on the panel, but I never went to a barbershop where all the men were just sitting there complaining about women. I never went to a bar.
So let me just say this. I'm going to stop right there for right now, right, Brownsville? The first thing that I really resent, and maybe that's a little too strong of a word, but right at the moment I can't find a better word, really dislike. Let me say that. The one thing that I really dislike is this notion that if we are calling out the bad behavior of some women, that we're up here complaining about women. I in no way, shape, form, or fashion believe that I get up here and I'm complaining about women. So that I find extremely offensive, and I find that extremely antagonistic, because I've said that on multiple times.
But my brother, were you done? Because I don't want to cut you off.
Oh, on that part, go ahead. Yeah, on that part, you could reply, and then I'm gonna keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah. So once again, I said these brothers, right, who sit around and say, "Well, this is how we communicate in a barbershop." Have you ever said that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wasn't aware that you said that. Right. I had somebody else in mind who I'm not gonna mention when I said that. Right.
But let me ask you a question. I apologize to cut you off. Let me ask you one quick question to give perspective. Some of the other things that you said before that, did you have me in mind when you were speaking of some of those other things, especially the one about talking about balance, the one talking about how I believe Sharon is grifting? What was that referring to things that I've said or had me in mind when you said it?
Absolutely. Right.
Yes,
but
sir.
if you notice, right, when I said what I said, I asked the question. I said, I would like to ask the brothers a question who feel that way. I didn't levy any personal attacks.
But okay. Okay, so, and this is kind of what you and Sharon do that I have a problem with, that both of y'all do, right? And Sharon did the same thing the other day. It's that you go from you'll go in and out, right? So you'll go from general conversation to specific conversation, and from specific conversation to general conversation within the same dialogue. And then when someone tries to hold you to a talking point that you use, you'll say, "Oh, well, I was just talking in general." But just previously to that, there are things that are being equated into that lesser minds don't understand. And y'all must have took some psychology or something, because y'all are brilliant in that, because even Sharon got away with it. And I was like, wow, these people are really that slow. They didn't catch that. But it was cool. I was like, okay, it don't matter. But y'all are masterful at that, where you'll go in between of the general to the specific, from the specific to the general. And then when someone tries to call you out on what you said, you could be like, "Oh, well, now I was talking about general. I was talking about general. Do you think that you fall into that category? Do you think that means you?" And it's like, come on, fam. You just was talking about me. The last 3 bars were about me. And now on the 4th bar, you say something to tie that 3 bars in that's derogatory. And then you say, "Oh, no, I wasn't talking about you." That's really, really off the chain. That's crazy.
But, and see, it's the way that you interpret it, right? And this is what I was saying. And I don't know if you heard me speak later, but I was saying that men, right? We, and I speak about all of us when I say this, we have to get out of the victim mentality, right? You see, every rebuke and every criticism isn't necessarily specific to us, right? So if you was to have a show, and I'm gonna sum it up like this: if you was to have a show, right, and you didn't put me on a thumbnail, right, and you were just reviewing the show and then offering your opinion, right, I would not feel attacked by that. I would say, okay, this is just Israel Mills disagreeing with a talking point that I had. And then we can have a conversation about why you disagree, and we can see if we can come to a mutual understanding, right? That's the difference, I think. So if we're having a conversation, right, and I say in general, right, these men who say that when they go into a barbershop, everybody's in there is complaining about women. I've never personally, not in Brownsville, not anywhere in Manhattan, not anywhere in New York City, ever went into a barbershop where the whole conversation was about the rebuke and criticism of women and how women need to do X, Y, Z to turn things around and change. What my experience in a barbershop was, and correct me if it differs from yours, is when men are going to get haircuts, men were competing whether it was about sports, whether it was about politics, whether it was about, hey, it was men banter back and forth in a competition or building upon knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, building upon the 12.
What's up, Kills?
Yo, man, Ruthless, yo, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I hear you good. What's up,
Yeah,
man?
but nah, but yo, man, I ain't even watched this live right here, yo. It's like I was in and out sleeping. Know what I'm saying? I was trying to catch this part, but I ain't even catch this part.
Yeah. I'm ready to play some more.
Mm-hmm.
12 Jews. That was my experience in a barbershop. I didn't have the experience in a barbershop to where men had this victim mentality, that they wanted to just complain and lament about how they can't get women to come up under their program.
So that's a perception thing, and that's not even what's happening now, especially in my space, right? There are some men who I can agree, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. There are a few men that I could think of off the top of my head, which I would put in that category. I could not put myself or most of the men that's over here that hang out with me in that category. Most of those men do not sit and complain about women. Most of the men over here are married men, and successful men. So it's like, I hear what you're saying, but that's your perception of what people are saying. They're not there, and that's where I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not that they're complaining about women. They speak about issues with men. They speak about issues with women, and it seems like whenever we speak about any issue with women, we face a lot of rebuke and pushback from you guys to say, why y'all always complaining about women? Why you always whining? Why y'all always have a victim mindset? It's like, come on, fam. That's not what it is. But let me continue to play this, and then it will be crystal clear to you how I could take this as if
women are not exempt for constructive criticism.
I totally agree, bro.
Yeah, they're just as much as culprits in wrongdoing than just as the men. Fear no mortals, what's up? I'm not complaining. I love the way you guys are growing. I love you guys speaking in your truth and living your truth. Whether y'all 304s or corporate 304s or strippers or whatever it is y'all master, right? Or divorcers or whatever it is y'all do, I'm going to support y'all. But you guys are not exempt. Women are not exempt from constructive criticism. Men are not exempt from constructive criticism. Women are not exempt from constructive criticism. If we're gonna have the conversation in fullness, all right, we both got something to work on. Men, we got some things we need to work on. Women, y'all got some stuff y'all need to work on. But that doesn't mean it necessarily means we don't want you back, right? It doesn't mean we don't like y'all. It doesn't mean we don't want y'all. What it means is, let's see, the conversation in this space is this. Men want their women back home. That's what they're all this about, right? And the women are coming up here and standing 10 toes down on their expectations and their criticism of men. Right, for no mortals.
I agree with you, but the whole thing is, you know what I'm saying? Yo, we be on panels with these sheiks. We be talking to these sheiks in the back chat and everything like that, right? When we be on these panels, you know what I'm saying? We be conversing with these ladies in the back chat. Some of us doing these spaces. Most of these, even me, right? Man, the majority of my wrenches is from the ladies. I be chilling. Plus, I never came in space argue, you know what I mean? Having women issues, bro.
Yeah, but
All we want is intact families.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We know
Go ahead.
You're a man eater.
I'm saying, pause, no diddy, yo. I'm a woman. I'm a man who like to eat.
Well, okay. So let me clarify. That means you like to argue with men. You don't really like to argue with women.
Yeah, yo, but I be most of my arguments with men, it be like in a joking manner. I may joke, I may throw a shot at y'all, but majority of the brothers in these spaces, I'm cool with though.
But
I'm cool with majority of the brothers in these spaces.
But let's not personalize it, right? Let's keep it in general. The general
Okay.
conversation, the general sentiment is, right? A lot of men want the nuclear family back.
Right, that's it.
A lot of men want the marriage to grow up. They want the marriage rate to increase.
Right.
A lot of men want to be with the woman in their proximity.
Facts.
Right? But the women are saying,
the white woman.
Right. But the women are coming on and saying, we don't support broke energy. We
Right,
don't.
there we go. Right.
We don't want men to lead us. We
That's
don't
a fact.
want men. And it's a fair stance.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're at a standoff. Right.
Yeah.
Men are chugging and trying to convince women to come back home.
Come back to the negotiation table.
Right. Come back, baby. And the women say, fuck it. And the women say, fuck it.
Yo, you right. Hey, if you right, you right.
We got our economy. We got our
sound like the R&B 90 music, right?
Yes, we got our all the rights we fought for.
Okay.
We want equality. Women don't look to serve men. Women want men to serve them. And this is where the disconnect is, because men, they talk about leadership, but women aren't looking for leaders.
Oh, why they not looking for leaders? What you mean?
Because women want to be worshipped. Women think men is put on this earth to serve them.
And then and then you want to add this caveat, like, and then they want to scrap the resources of men too.
Yes,
but
they want control. They want to control. See, and this is why marriage rate is down. This is why women are divorcing or not being with men, because if they can't control the money and the resources, then they really don't want too much to do with that guy, right? But women are looking for some. Women are self-centered, and they want everything to revolve around them, right? Women don't want
hypergamy, right?
Yeah, no, that's not hypergamy. That's hypergamy is looking for the best man to fulfill those things that their needs are. Whatever their needs, if they find a better man to do that and have more resources and more time, they'll take that man and give it to the other man. They'll replace it, right? This is what the baby mamas is doing to the baby daddies and bringing in the stepdaddies, right? So we have to understand, Fear No Mortals, women are looking for slaves.
Yo, I've been to it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, women are the new slave masters. So we understand.
They the new white woman on a plantation. Let's clarify that.
Yes, you are the new white women. So therefore, the women are looking to control the man. I don't want to say control. They don't want to control him, but they want that man to submit to their emotional needs, which also comes with packaged with financial wants.
Facts.
Which also is packaged with sexual gratification. So this is where the problem is, though. Once men try to not placate that all the way down, because it's hard to maintain that, right? So let's start the process. Women have a process, right? And let's go over this process. The process, when you date them, that's why they want you to pay for everything, right?
Right.
Because they want to see if you're going to be a good boy, right? Good boy, sit, Ubu, sit. Right? They want to see, is he going to pay without complaining? It's what restaurants he taking me to? Okay. They're interviewing you, and you're trying to fit into, men are trying to fit into, meet her expectations. So therefore, she's looking. So all the dating process, when she's getting all the meals and going all the thing with these men, she's looking to see if he not only can pay for everything, right? But also, is he emotionally intelligent? Is he great in bed? Because I'm telling you, if you lack, especially in, you can have the money and all that shit, but if you lack in the bedroom,
Oh, come on, we already know that. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
and then
fact. Yeah,
right,
that's a non-negotiable.
right, if you lack in that bedroom, and then you lack in the emotional intelligence department, she would get rid of you.
And
So
a
the
heartbeat.
process to marriage, a woman is looking for a nigga. She's charging a man. She's charging him with the hopes of maybe getting married to her one day. She's not giving him no guarantees.
Ain't no guarantees. Nice.
She's not giving no guarantees either. She's playing her cards in her deck to see how much he acquiesces to her demands.
That's a fact.
Because you got to remember, women got like, besides you, they got 30 men saying, baby, I'll give you the world.
Yeah.
Right? They got
Every
men
day,
lined up.
you gotta something.
They got men lined up. 30,
Yeah,
40.
you're on their phone. The food guy, the guy, the weed guy.
Yes, all
you know
of
what I
them.
mean?
I'll give you the world. I'll worship the ground you walk on, but they might not have the looks. Or so when she's picking you, she's looking for you at you. Okay, this is who I want to serve me.
Yeah.
This is and this is where the men have to understand. I think in these spaces, this is where Brownville has to understand. Women are looking to be served, not to serve. So therefore, if a woman takes that ring, right, you better be damn sure you paid for that shit from day one to day 750, right? The average man is in what, 60 to 70,000 after dating a woman.
So what you mean by 60 to 70,000?
That's how much money you spent to time together. That's
right.
That's dinners. That's trips. That's amusing parks. That's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? On top of, he's been a champion in that bedroom, right? He's been hitting on all four cylinders, right? He's hitting them G spots.
But then he got to go to work for like what 60? You remember the Kevin Samuels talking point? Like you got to work like 80 hours or some shit.
So, and this is where I'm getting to. So by time a man tries to, they've been together for like 3 years, 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
The average man can't maintain that.
Yeah, that's a
because fact. He has to work the hours to keep the food on the table and the roof over there and the lights on.
Right.
So what happens?
So women, that he got to pay 100% of the bills too, right?
Sometimes it's 50-50, but I still believe most men pay the mortgage, right? I believe most men pay the mortgage still, even in a 50-50 category, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: the time, right?
Right.
And the effort. No man's going to be able to maintain that with a woman throughout the duration of his growth process as a efficient economic provider.
Okay.
The sex is going to fall off.
Right. Then she could get hog mogs. Then she could get hog mogs and chitlins and So your health gonna depreciate.
Then the conversation is going to fall off because when he get home from work, he's tired.
Hell yeah.
You talk to him about everything, and this nigga's falling out.
Damn.
He got to keep his eyes open. Yeah, baby. He just yelling himself to sleep.
Right.
So what happens? Women start complaining about this guy to their friends, their family. Oh, he isn't like that. He isn't what he used to be.
Yeah.
He isn't the man I thought he was going to be. Right?
So at that point, do you think that she's going to get her a YN?
Nah, it depends, right? It depends. There's variances to it. There's variances. She going to get a work husband, or she might even go out alone and promote some friends on for dating. Right. But this is better explained right here, right? This video, we're going to hear from the women, right? And we're going to hear what the women agree with Ruthless. Oops.
And go, oh, shoot. Okay. I didn't know it was going to take all of this. Game time. Let me try to figure this out. Let me try to see if I can do this and do that and get the card and do this, love her more and balance all this. Women, we meet you and we're like, our idea and our fairy tale is you are Prince Charming, honey. And then we try to get you to fit Prince Charming. And the more you don't fit it, the more y'all end up in my office going, but he doesn't do this. Well, has he ever did it? No, but I always just thought my husband would. Your husband or this man? So are you getting to know who you with? Or are you making this man fit this fairy tale ideology that doesn't even exist anyways? And so women come and lead with fit this, or you have no value. Men come in and go, all right, I'm here and I'm gonna learn how to be the best I can for you. And then women do what? You're taking too long. You're not getting there because you haven't fit the box of the fairy tale. They almost always have an amazing husband. But because his amazingness doesn't fit her idea of amazing, guess what? He ain't shit.
And that's the woman sentiment. And she is a therapist, so she spoke to thousands and thousands of women in marriage counseling, right? So this is the sentiment. So when men are coming on these panels or in these spaces to air their grievances out, it's because women are underperforming and not transforming or reciprocating the sentiments back for the duties they demand to do. So then women come on here to check the man, right? Put him in check. You shut up and serve me. Who hurt you? Right? Women want the man to shut up and serve them. They want a good slave, not a bad slave. He's a bad, he talked too much. So when that man's paying the bills and do all these things for this woman, she's in her mind saying, I deserve this. And this is what I deserve from this man. And he better not expect anything back other than he get access to my coochie. So when men want appreciation, when men want some type of don't overtalk me, don't fight with me, she like, hell no. I'm your slave master. You
ever watch Strictly Business before? See, now I'm telling my age. You ever seen that movie Strictly Business back in the day?
Yeah, I watched Strictly Business.
You remember that light skinned chick, who he was first dating? Like them chicks like her, man.
Yeah.
Hit it to the left, hit it to the right. Come on. And then she give you a wet wipe. That's for the thing.
Yes, thank you, Fear No Mortals. And this is why
Salute to Fear No Mortals.
This is why women leave the most. This is why they head to the divorce department the most. Because women have this thing that they want men to fit in. And the moment that man doesn't fit it or definitively acquiesce to it, she then starts a process to terminate his tenure. And the main thing, the number one thing that women have a problem with men with over money, over sex, is placating to her emotional roller coaster. See, one thing about women, they are tied to the way they feel and their emotions. And because a woman would never love a man more than she loves herself, right? If that man does not acquiesce to those feelings, which are fleeting, or happiness, sad, right? She then doesn't like him anymore. And even if the sex is good, and even if the money is good, this is why the women are leaving the rich man. This is why the women are leaving the high earning men, right? Even the men with the good sex, even with good D. Because if he doesn't listen to her, then it's nothing he can do. And this is where we come to this is what Brownville doesn't understand, right? That women are here. They think men were made to serve them. And Brownville, in his current marriage, is serving his wife. He's equity, and so is Sharon. They are betas. Okay? And they placate to their wives. And this is why they're coming on here and trying to teach men how to worship the ground she walks on. Brownville and Sharon and women all across the world are trying to teach men how to worship their woman.
That's a fact. Cause I heard Sharon say and Bondsville say that even women who be in prison, you supposed to treat them like queens also.
Yes, because they're here to double down on a woman's engagement of worship. Women think they're goddesses.
Yeah, yo. So that's why Bondsville always do that diatribe first when he come on the panel. Let me wipe my feet off and let me give the queens they flowers or whatever he be saying. Salute to the
Yeah.
queen this, salute to the queen that, you know what I'm saying? And then
Let
he be
me,
like, oh man, I can't forget about the kings. I can't forget about the kings.
let me play this video.
Well, here's the problem. Women don't live in reality. A lot of women are very, very, very delusional. And so they have these ideas about men in their head, what they want these men to be. It's like they got a movie and they have a cast. And there's a role for this knight in shining armor that's going to sweep her off her feet and worship her and only her for eternity. His eyes see nobody else but her. His phallus sees nobody else but her. And so she wants that man. She finds a man that she likes. She creates this picture. She's driven by sex, and she wants to trap that man to worship her for eternity. And if he does not play to every single thing that she has in her mind, she wants to blow up the world. She wants to set off a detonator to destroy everything around her if things don't go exactly her way. And so what I come to realize is that a lot of men are struggling trying to placate to the delusions of women. Well, here's the problem.
So, well, let's double down on what I'm saying, right? And this is what women do, right? And this is why women leave. It has nothing to do with the man, but everything to do with her. So I'm not complaining because I understand.
Right.
I'm cool with it. Baby girl, love you. Love yourself, boo. Because guess what, boo boo? I'ma love me too.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You gotta get you. See, long you know the female nature and how she's moving within that, because it comes into wolves and sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just move right, you know what I'm saying, within that realm.
Ain't
You
no
understand?
moving. Listen, I have let me make this right. I don't have no problem with women moving to their greatness, right? I don't have no problem with it. I'm not here to argue with them about, girl, what you need to be doing. You need to be in the kitchen, or no. Women know everything. They know how to please a man. They know how to cater to a man. They know how to do everything. They know everything. But the thing is, they don't give a fuck. So that's fine. Okay, cool. But just understand, I'm going to love myself too. And I'm not going to give a fuck either. And it's only fair exchange, no robbery. I just have to love you from a distance. What's up, Fear No More? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Ruthless. I originally just came on to troll you, but I find this interesting. I feel like you always have complaints.
I'm never, listen, I just look at things for what they are, right? Women are going to be women. I'm cool with it. I don't mind them living in their truth. I actually champion them this more now than 30, 40 years ago. I champion the transparency, right?
Mhm.
I'd rather a woman tell me, nigga, you don't make enough, or you need to make this much. Or you, because then that way I know that, okay, can I handle this or can I handle that? Whereas back in the day, while women were faking it to make it. Now the women aren't doing that no more. They're saying, look, this is what we want. And I'm cool with that, because then I can set my demands and what my expectations are. And then if we can't meet in the middle, then baby girl, live your life. I'm gonna live mine. And that, to me, that's fair.
Ruthless, could it be that a lot of men are just picking the wrong women? Like, I
No.
feel like you guys don't think about that. I mean, every woman in the world is not what you all get on these panels and describe.
Well, it's just a good conversation to have, Field Motors. And I know you might disagree with this. This is what I truly believe, right? And this is my opinion. I could be wrong. I believe women are enslaved to their emotions and the way they feel. Every woman, every last one of them. That is consistently universal. What is different about women in certain aspects, which is not too far off, is what they prioritize, right? Some women might prioritize money a little bit more. Some women might prioritize their feelings a little bit more. Some women might prioritize sex a little bit more. But all of them is tied to their emotions and the way they feel. Meaning, even though a lot of women might chase money and chase sex, but their feelings supersede anything that they're chasing. So they can get the rich guy that they want, give them the lifestyle, everything, right? But if they feelings will say, I don't feel like this is the guy for me, they will walk away from everything they demanded of this guy. Because women love themselves more than they love men.
Could it be that they have a higher standard that goes over just what money can buy, Ruthless? Have you ever thought about that?
Well,
I know
money,
you think all women are just tied to money. Have you thought about that some women have their own money and money is not the top priority? Of course, let's be honest.
That's what
Nobody just wants a bum. So we can be real about that.
But that's what I said.
That's natural. You know what I mean? But I just don't believe, Ruthless, that every woman is out here. Well, he has to have 6 figures. He has to be 6 foot and all this, the way a lot of you all make it seem. I just don't think that is the case, because most men don't even make 6 figures for it even to be a true thing.
Okay, so let me clarify something. That's why I said at the beginning of my statement, different women prioritize the money, the sex, and the emotional intelligence, right? So once again, right, I'm not saying that all women prioritize money, some more than others. But what I will say this, everything comes back to the way they feel and how they think of the way they feel. And that's what leads them, right? So here's the question, or here's the sentiment. The women are leaving the poor men, right? And they're leaving the rich men. They're leaving the high earners and the low earners. So right, you damn right. Money is, do women require men to be economically efficient? Yes. That is a requirement to get them to the finish line of marriage or whatever, right? That is undoubtedly. Do men need to be great in the bedroom, or at least to her satisfaction, to even continue in this process? Yes. So those two things have to happen for this process to move forward or to continue, right? But now, this is where I disagree with men picking the wrong women. It doesn't matter which woman you pick, because once again, women would never love that man more than they love themselves. So therefore, they prioritize the way they feel of happiness and all that things, right? And if the man no longer fulfills those needs within the internal conflict within themselves, even though he's doing everything right externally, like he's providing, he's paying the bills, he's having sex with her, he's not cheating, he's loyal, right? But yet internally, if her feelings are compromised and I'm not happy, she will still walk away from him, because women prioritize the way they feel over money, over sex, of anything, not a question.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ruthless, that could not possibly go for everyone because broke people get together and get married every day. It's
But
broke as hell.
well, women, yeah, they get married, but it's either one or two things, right? And this is not true to me. Once again, this is what's my opinion. I could be wrong. Either they're going to go divorce your ass, or it's happy wife, happy life. Those are the only two options there, right? And this is why I truly believe that to marry a woman is you're signing up to just worship her, right? Women want men to worship them. And the moment he doesn't cater to the way she feels and how her emotions run, that will be, that's why they run to that divorce. Oh, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm just here. I don't want him because I can be better all by myself. This is what women do, right? They do it. And I'm not, hey, it is what it is. We can't change it. Women are not going to change. And
I
because
don't think that's really true, Ruthless. I mean, in some cases, I'll give you that. I'm not a biased person. I see the aspects of both men and women. I'm not, manosphere, sisterhood, or whatever you want to call those things, right? So I can see it on both ends. There are women that are no good. There's men that are no good. I mean, anybody with a logical brain should know that.
yes, you're
That you
absolutely
just
right.
can't put it on one party because
No, I'm not
it
putting
could
on
be
one.
bad in both.
But here's the
But
deal,
my
right?
thing is, no one should be worshiping anybody. We should be worshiping the Most High God. We shouldn't be worshiping a man. We shouldn't be worshiping a woman either.
And
That's the failure of it all right there.
But did you?
that's absolutely you're absolutely correct. And this is why the divorce rate is at 800,000 a year, right? For the women filing these divorces. Because the moment the man stops acquiescing, because you got to remember, for the most, the whole dating process, the boyfriend girlfriend process, is him. Men try to fit into her program. Women don't get on men's program, right? That's not what they do. They look for that man on her program, and then men, which most men are betas, right? They try to get to that program and happy, right? To please her, show that they're providers, that they're intelligent, mute kills. So, like most women try to, all the things that the men try to meet them to please her. The dating process is dominated by the women when it comes to catering too, right? So it's not even a question, right? Who is the prize, right? And the aspect of women get courted, they pay for men to court them, right? Or they make men pay to court them, right? And this is part of her expectations and demands. Now, what I would agree with you, Shafir Motos, that is just a preliminary, right? But that's not the overall thing, right? The most important thing will be his emotional intelligence. That there is the number one, right?
I definitely would say that it has to be part of it. Yes.
That's the number one. That's the number. Everything has to be leveled out, but that supersedes. Remember, her woman's emotions, how she feels, supersedes money, supersedes sex. He could be. This is why women. I talk to women. They said, "Yeah, this guy I was with, he had great D. He had great D, but he didn't listen to me. You know what I mean? All he did was argue with me." So to
That
understand,
gets old.
huh?
It has to be more than that. I mean,
Oh,
for a woman that's not surface level, it has to be more than just D.
okay, so once again, right? This is why they chase. A lot of women chase the elite guys, right? Because they want women chase men to get the men to submit to them. They look at a man. They're looking for a man to be enslaved to their emotional. It's called emotional entrapment. And this is how women operate when they're dealing with men, right? They looking for that man to serve them. Women are self-centered, and they want everything to revolve around them. And this is how the relationship is ran. Now, the thing about it,
You think that's how all relationships are ran?
Yes.
Because
yes.
I don't. In my opinion, a lot of women do not want a man that is very passive, that just goes along just to get along.
Yes,
That's
they do.
not what a lot of women want,
Yes,
Rufus.
they want a man who's going to acquiesce in the moment of how she feels. Women are not looking for leaders. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you like this. Let me give you an example. Your man come home, right? You chilling on the couch, right? And he says to you, friend of motors, get up and take the trash. Huh? Excuse me? What? Tone policing, because she's gonna challenge him the way he said it, right? Because she feels she's the boss. She feels that he needs to be acquiescing to her. So what happens? What happens? Who you talk to like that? Who gonna check me, boo? Now, if the only way he's gonna maybe get you taking trash out, he's got to come in there, honey snickles, Cocoa Pops, honey bunches of love, dear, baby girl. If you have time, if your nails are dry, can you please take the trash out? That's the only way you might take the trash out.
Hold
Right?
on, hold on. But what if you hold on? Let me say this real fast, real fast. See, what if you that right dude, right? Now, I'm not gonna get too sketchy, but like, she went to work, had a hard day of work, you know what I'm saying? She come home and he got that broom and the dustpan and meet her at the door. Like, I done cooked everything, baby. I got your bath water running. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because we got this thing that women make the majority of the money nowadays because they get in their careers. Some of these ladies is doing construction work. Now they got on TikTok. Now they driving trucks. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
The trucking. Women is getting to that bag.
This is what you have to understand, Kills. Women are addicted to power and sex.
Okay.
That's
the natural order of things, though.
And feminism and the power of equality, right, moves women to a place to where they feel they're equal to the man that they're with, or sometimes even better than. And so what that means is you need to see her eye to eye like you see yourself.
So a woman having the right to vote and work and everything like that means that, well, let me just ask you this one question. That's a bad thing to you?
No.
In your opinion, you would rather have it back to where women did not work and did not, pull their end?
No. Because women have always, no. I'm cool where they at. I'm just explaining. Right. I'm just making how you said. I'm just defining why that there's so much controversial discord in relationships, because it's conflict of interest. Meaning the women want to run, they're looking for somebody to serve them. The men, they automatically got egos, so it's clashing. But the men who do make it, the men who do have marriages, they're happy wife and happy life in it. Because why? Women, if they're compromised through their emotions, they will burn the motherfucking house down. And they will take everything, your kids, and turn them against you and hate you and everything, right? And and a stepdaddy take your place and have the kids call him daddy and say, fuck you, right? Men, we don't do that. Even if it don't work out, we still want the kids to respect you. But women, y'all, if that man does not placate to your demands of how you feel him as an enemy.
I think you have a very biased perspective, honestly. And I think I think you have a very biased perspective. And I just don't think that is the case with majority of situations for people who are really sincere and mature enough to be in a relationship. There's some people that don't need to be in a relationship. They haven't done the work. They haven't healed for themselves. They have a lot of trauma that they have been through in life. And until they work that out, then they shouldn't even step foot in a relationship.
So
they
this
need
is
to
what
work all of that out, men and women, before they get involved with somebody else. Because 9 times out of 10, all you're doing at that point is just trauma bonding. And then what happens when one person heals and one person does not, and they stay the same? That's the problem with people. They don't take enough time in between relationships because people are afraid to be alone. And that's the bad part about it. People need to take the time to gravitate to who they really are, go through some steps to heal, because everybody has been through something. And in a lot of these situations, people don't get the help that they need, get the healing that they need, don't become spiritually aware or any of that. And that leads for a bad situation of people just going into situations that mentally not. That's what I think the biggest problem is. But I feel like people will mask it as all these other things. No, what it really is, people need to get their lives together, get their healing together, get their mind right, and get their stuff right before they even consider trying to settle down with someone else.
Feel no more. I'm gonna ask you a question if you don't mind, Ruthless. Did you see the lady on TikTok that got exposed for she was a therapist and she exposed like black men, you know what I'm saying? She broke like whatever it's called. I don't think it's HIPAA law. It's something else. Like she broke the chain of telling the business of black men in therapy. Like black men don't want to go to therapy no more. You know what I'm saying?
Some do, some don't. I get it. It's always been a taboo.
So do you know who made trauma bonding? Like I don't know the lady name, but you know that she got captive by like the bank robbers and everything like that. Like I don't know the lady name. I have forgot her name. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all think that men are trauma bonding or doing these things,
I think both
why
are.
do y'all still come around us though?
So let's hear what the women got to say, right? I got some videos, and this goes because Philomoto's saying I'm biased. We're gonna hear the women's opinion because Philomoto's a woman, and we're gonna hear what they say. All right.
Mm-hmm. Well, then also pull up some opinions on the other side.
So this is something that I honestly been pondering on actually for a few years now. I remember what the Bible said about women and you know, like the evil spirit, what the Bible says about the Jezebel spirit, and you know, things I see that women do, things I know and heard that women do. The paternity issue, how these women lay next to a man for years, looking a kid in the eyes for years, knowing there's no relation. How good men get stomped out, how kids are just used for a check. I've come to the conclusion that I think women are just pure evil.
Okay, that's one. All right, so we're gonna go to another female because I don't want to. I'm biased.
If being honest was a person, watch this video. Let me know what you think. Let's go.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
We feel like they're runner-ups and contestants.
If women have an abundance of choices, would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
No.
So if women are the choosers, how are men the leaders?
Good question.
Very good question.
How can men lead if it's by women's terms?
I have no clue.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman's discretion?
No.
So then why do we say that men are leaders when women are in control?
We want you guys to lead while we're still in control.
Okay, that's another one. Let's keep going. I got a couple more. We just want to hear women got a voice. We want to listen.
Why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid. They don't want love.
Oh.
They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills. And I think as long as we're in this transactional era of time, it's never going to be able to get back to love. We got to focus on the core value of what actually matters inside of a relationship. And we've strayed too far. Honestly, don't get mad at me. I know there's a lot of ladies in here.
I'm seeing all the faces behind you.
It's the truth. You know, honestly, we live in a prostitution era.
Okay, so let's keep going. I got.
Women keep women single. Single women cannot stand when any of their friends get into a relationship because they need their friends to support their bad behavior. This is even worse when a woman is married. A married woman's single friend will do everything and anything in their power to get the friend to leave her marriage. Anything the married woman shared with her single friends, the single friends will find a way to get her to view it in a negative way. Anything the man does will be criticized and scrutinized. It is the goal of single women to get her friend to leave so that the women can be single again. Women sabotage each other's relationships.
Boom. One more, and then we'll have at it.
When you go broke, I will leave you.
Oh.
Figure it out.
So you're here to just bleed them dry.
Yes.
As soon as you get everything, you're off. Do you normally seek out the victims, or do they come? Is it inbound calls?
Oh, no. I never chase.
So it's never outbound.
I only attract.
Inbound only.
And if you came and talked to me, that's your fault.
Right.
So we clearly see, right, that women are expressing themselves. They've got a voice, and they're loud and clear. Sarah says she's observation of other women on women is we're in a prostitution era. Women are the ones in control of the relationship, meaning she has the right of refusal. The man is there for a job interview. So and this is just a lot of women saying this. This is just a few I picked. It's like hundreds of thousands more videos. But
okay, well, let me just say this.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit there and invalidate any of their points. Yes, there are women like that. But on the same token, we could probably find 100 videos where women are saying bad things about men. So that's why I say I'm not biased. I see the bad on both ends. So I couldn't just be on my channel and just pick out, look at all these men and they ain't nothing and whatever. Here's all the bad videos about men. No, because it's bad on both ends. So I don't have anything to say about that. Because just as many videos you see of women talking about men, I can pull up men that are talking bad about other men as well.
Facts.
It's on both sides.
And the thing is, the men who talk about the men are saying, like Brownsville and Sharon, right? And Freezy, they say that you should be a better leader. But then we just heard the women say they're not the leaders, right? So that's pretty much.
We know some men that are leaders.
That what I'm saying is that's universally by the men on other men. You're not good leaders. But what they don't understand is women don't want leaders. Women aren't looking for leaders. They're looking for men to serve them. Right? This is what
again, like I already told you, some women do appreciate a man that leads. Some men don't know how to lead, just like some women don't know how to be a good wife. It's on both ends, Ruthless. So we can't sit here and say it's just a one-sided thing because that is just not accurate.
But fear no more. Then you did say that a woman speaks to God or something, like you said, like a woman.
No, I said a man and woman shouldn't serve each other. They should be serving God. Again, that's on both ends.
Okay, so do you believe in like God, man, you know what I mean? God, man, woman, and child? Do you believe in like that order?
It's supposed to be God, husband, wife, children.
It never says wife though. You can't find where it says husband. It didn't say husband. It says God, man,
And that was in
woman,
order.
and
That
child.
was in the order of marriage.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't because
let
okay,
me
I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue about the Bible. I know what I mean. I love the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I hope this conversation be fruitful. You know what I'm saying? For everybody. I just share this content too. So like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? So we could digress on that if you fail to realize, because he did give dominion to Adam. You know what I'm saying? God did come to Adam and say that he have autonomy over everything over the earth, the land, the trees, the birds, the livestock,
Hold
everything
one
in
moment.
between.
I'll pull it up for you. No worries.
He never said wife. He said God, man, woman, child.
I'm gonna play this video right here, and this is gonna break things down.
A woman calling you baby or sweetheart means nothing. A woman buying you gifts means nothing. A woman becoming the mother of your child still means nothing. A woman moving in with you doesn't mean it's real. A woman posting your pictures all over social media means absolutely nothing. Even when a woman says I love you, but that alone means nothing. And let me surprise you, even a woman marrying you can still mean nothing. What
So once again, right, the women control access to marriage. That's number one. I don't know. Men said men control access. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because how can you control access if you have to ask? Right?
No, we have the access. We have the access to walk away, Ruthless. That's what the tenements in these spaces and the talking points is. They think they got the access to walk away. You feel me?
No. What I'm saying is the talking point is men control the access to marriage, and they don't because they have to ask. They definitely have to beg, right? They got to get on one knee and all that shit. So
but now you got women getting on one knee now.
Now, what I'm just saying is that's rare.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Rare. Yeah, it is rare. It is.
That's rare. Most men are the ones who have to ask, and she has the right of refusal. Listen, every man, let's just say a man asks a woman to marry him. That man assess and understand that he's done everything and he's willing to continue to try to make that woman happy, right? Because women, this is why they lead the divorce category. This is why they leave relationships the most, because women are enslaved to their emotions and how they feel. They never are enslaved to the man. The man is enslaved to them, right? His quest, when she get with that man needs to cater to her happiness and the way she feels. This is why the happy wife, happy life is such the ideology of men. This is why Brownsville, surround them, come and telling the men, happy wife and happy life it. But at the same time, we have to understand that I agree with Fear No More. Ain't nobody perfect. I agree with that. And this is more an indictment on women because they're leaving a man who's imperfect when themselves are imperfect. So it makes them hypocrites. But and men do it too. So women do it more, men do it less. But still men do it, right? But the overarching point is men are here right now. If women were to come up, a group of women say, hey, look, we want to work it out with y'all. We don't want to no longer squabble with y'all. Men will break down as fast as they would be ready to negotiate.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Men act like they need women. Women act like they don't need men. And this is where the divide is, right? Because all men really want is the woman to come back to the homes and appreciate whatever. Men don't have a problem providing. We're not complaining about being providers.
Nah, all we want is a sandwich, watch the football game. Men don't ask for much. Men don't want much. So even that little bit, like you said, Ruthless, they don't even want to give us that.
Yeah, because they're looking for us to serve them.
Yeah, they look at it as slave work.
They look at when you pay all the bills and do all that stuff and sex are good and all that. She's looking at it like, oh, this is what she feels entitled to that. Like
Right. She's not grateful for that. She's not grateful.
Yeah, because she's feeling like she's being worshipped. So whoever's being worshipped is definitely don't need to put out, right? Because they're the kings of the castle. The servants do all the work, right? And that's the way the women are moving out here, right?
Hold on. She's the king of the castle now?
Yeah. Women are running the show. They're running the relationships. Women are running the dating market. They're running the relationships, and they're running the marriages. Everything. Only thing the men are running is their mouth.
Oh wow! So all they do is run their mouth on these panels.
Yeah, and women are not giving up this power. This new little toy they got. Women love dogging men, and men love to have the power to walk away. They love to have the power to get rid of your ass. This is why they hate cheating. And let's talk about this word cheating, right? Women don't like cheating for the very fact that if you cheat, it makes her feel powerless, right? You are her slave. You are enslaved to her. And you going out and you have sex with another woman, you take away her power of the vagina. Because now, if she gets mad at you and try to use her vagina to subject you to punishment, you go get it from somebody else. And this is why if you cheat 1 or 2 times, she'll take you back. As long as you self-check, right? Oh, baby, I'm so sorry, boo-boo. I didn't mean it. It was just an accident. Whatever, right? But nigga, are you bowing back down? Are you acquiescing to this? Yes, baby, yes. Then she'll take you back. Now she'll definitely be checking the location a little bit more and going to your phone a little bit more. But she'll give you a chance, right? But if you continue to cheat, she will leave you, even if she loves you, even if she cares about you. But a woman, if she feels powerless in that relationship where she don't have control, something to leverage against you, to train you, then you're dead to her, and she will walk. So women in 2026.
So the synopsis, I just want to confine the conversation, right, on some Saran shit, right? So you saying that they want a Toby?
Yes, that's what that women do not look. They want to butt break dudes. They don't want the guy already. Well, we'll take back. There's some women. It depends on the level of her beauty. Let me say that.
Hold on, pause, man. What do you mean by butt breaking, though?
Let me first put something in there first. I skipped a couple parts. First, it depends on her level of beauty, right? If she's below average to average, she's going to butt break, or she's going to take the guy who's already come ready made, right? Who's going to acquiesce to her. She's not going to too much go after the guys out of her what she feels she doesn't qualify for. So she'll get the guy in her proximity. But now she's a beauty. Let's say she's got a banging body. She's pretty. Oh, she's going after the rapper, the elite guy, but she's going after to butt break that guy. She's not going after him because she wants, oh, he's a great leader. He's going to lead me. No, she's going to take his resources, enslave sexually to him, make him her sex slave, and butt break him. And if he does not come, this is why when these celebrities get with women, they never last. They never work because the women.
And again, it goes back to the women that you deal with.
All women.
That's just like me. Let me give you an example, Ruthless.
Okay.
If I keep getting with the same type of man, let's say I know that he abuses women or whatever. I dealt with one man like that. That's over. I get with another man like that. If I keep getting those same type of man, then whose fault is that after a while? That would be mine. So it's the same thing on the other side, Ruthless. If a man keeps getting with the woman that only wants him for his money, then his eyes are not open to it. He's looking at the superficial instead of looking at the qualities that the woman has or her characteristic, then that's on him. He's setting himself up for failure. Just like if a woman keeps getting the same type of man that dogs her out, she's setting herself up for failure. So it goes down to the type of people that a person is picking. You can't label it down to everybody's the same type, because that's simply not true. And I found the scripture kills.
But do we have right? I know you sound very intelligent, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you your crown while you're still here on this world, because you can't smell deleted roses, right? You're a very intelligent woman. You sound like you're very well read and everything of the sorts. Have you ever read 48 Laws of Power before?
Some of it. I
Some
haven't
of
read
it.
them.
Same here. I never read all of it. Same here. I'm gonna give you kudos. So we know women like Cleopatra, you know what I'm saying? Elizabeth, and the list goes on and on and on. And we know that these women come in, you know, we do look at the aesthetics with our eyes. We do that. So I will give you that, right? But they do come in with hidden agendas. We've seen him in empires.
So let me play this video.
Because of the woman. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I'm not even the videos Ruthless played, right? I'm not disputing that some women are not like that. I don't have an argument. But I'm also saying that anybody with common sense can't just say the reason why everything has gone wrong is just on the women's end. It's both parties that are having an issue, or else this conversation wouldn't be going on for years and years, is what I'm saying.
So
we know men that, if we're being honest, if you guys can be honest, you know men that ain't about nothing.
Okay,
just
so
like I
again,
know women that ain't about nothing.
But this is why I understand. Listen, nobody's perfect, so I'm not sitting here saying, man, we're just angels in this motherfucking tree, right? I'm not saying that. What I am saying is this: because no one is perfect and everybody has a level of imperfections. So when you sign up to be with someone, you're saying I'm signed up to deal with those things, right? So that equals out to both parties, right? This is what we call red flags, whatever. It's about what red flags you can deal with and what you can't. You have deal breakers, boundaries in place, all this stuff, right? But this is where I'm gonna play this video right here, and this is gonna break it down, and then we'll go after this.
But you want somebody to pay you for practically all my life. So this accountability thing, this nature of a male is sex. His whole responsibility. You want to blame him for everything. But this is we need to teach males to do this. Women want men, but why do you desire what you desire? Right? See, the men ain't serving them. They don't want to hear. You want to do this, and you invite a man to participate with you. It's now no longer your responsibility. You want to blame him for everything. But why do you desire what you desire? Right? See, the men will agree with that, but they won't agree with women actually closing their legs. See, they don't agree with the things that would lead the women to close their legs, which is the beginning of all of my teachings, to teach the truth about the male in order to get women to clank, clank.
But can we acknowledge, if a man got up here and said the exact same thing you just said, they would label him misogynistic?
Of course they would, because like I said before, women don't listen to men. Women think that men were created to serve them. So if you ain't serving them, they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because at the end of the day, women think that this is we need to teach males to do this. Women want men to be women. Women want society to transform a male into a female. Women hate women. Women hate each other. but they want to get a man and then make him embody all of the characteristics of a woman.
Right.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah, it's just confusing.
So it all makes sense. Trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, wanting your cake and eat it too. I think all of that had everything to do with women. Coming up with these things had everything to do with trying to figure out what a woman wants, because women want it all. And that's how marketing has been directed to women, to give women the illusion that you can have it all. To even think that you can have it all, that is a sign of narcissism. It's a sign of greed. Women want the world to revolve around them, each and every last woman. Women want their own man. They don't want to share the men, even though that is the more logical way that things would actually work out. Women don't want to do that, even because that's not the nature of a man, to be stuck with one person. But the woman wants to stick that man to one person, which is her, which is to take men away from their own reality, make men go against their own nature and trap him with her.
Right.
And she don't care about what you going through, what you thinking, how you feel, as long as you serving her. That's where this thing, happy life, happy wife, happy life come from. It's total narcissism.
So wouldn't you say that? So in that, wouldn't you say that men?
So once again, right now, if you take all that with the conversation, and when I listen to Priscilla, I take all the conversation that I hear women come on these panels over the years, right? And all the relationships I've had, I put it all together, right? Because I have my own thought process. Because if I don't agree with it, then I'm like, she's talking too much. No, I put everything together, and she's absolutely correct. Because the one thing in my personal life, with all my relationships that I had, the longer our relationship went, the more selfish the women got. And that's the one thing, because I evaluate and assess when I'm with the woman, because is you my girlfriend? I am considering marriage, maybe, possibly, potentially. So I'm looking at, is she capable? Are we capable of being, compatible? And the one thing I learned that hurt our compatibility, because everything else was cool, was that she became more selfish. She came, in the beginning, she starts as a selfless, but as time goes, she makes the whole relationship about her and what she wants and what she needs. And those will be 98% of our arguments. Well, if like my girlfriend said, hey, she won't take me out for my birthday. She wants to take me to a restaurant in Long Beach. But then I told her it's my birthday, I want to eat by Disneyland. And she said, well, we ain't going nowhere because I'm the one taking you out for birthday. And I'm going to take you to the restaurant I want to take you to. She want to make everything about her. And this is where our conflict of interest is coming in. Now, I don't mind making some things about her. I have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with it a little bit, but it needs to be a balance. And I think that women, because they think they're the prize, that they think they're better than the man that they're with. So they think that the decisions they make and the things they want is better than what he can come up with. And this is where you get into the fearless and reckless arguments. But men, because men believe in the nuclear family way more and men invest in women way more, they kind of take a step back and let her have her way, because as long as she ain't going out and having sex with other men feel like, okay, I can deal with this. Fuck it, I can do that. Because she's beautiful and and he has feelings for her. Plus they got kids. Okay. But the thing of it, it doesn't work, because at the end of the day, women are still leaving these men. Or if not, they're having babies by other men, right? You find out that the kid ain't yours, or what that's happening is sexless marriages, because she no longer respects you. Not because you're not doing everything you're supposed to do, but because she no longer feels you're the man for her. And this is what I believe, why I put a little bit more onus on the women of the ending of the marriages and relationships.
I understand what you're saying, and I think one thing that you said that I do agree with is it has to be a balance. If there's no balance, then it's not going to work. And it still goes back to what I said way earlier. You have to set some type of perimeters and get some understanding at first. A lot of people just jump right into things. There's no understanding. Oh, you look good. We look good together. We might have great sex, whatever. Boom, you're in a relationship. You haven't set up any boundaries. You haven't set up anything in place to see if you guys are really even totally compatible, if you can deal with this person on the good days, if you can deal with this person on the bad days. There's none of that. People just rush right into something and expect that everything's just going to be fine. And that's just not the way it works when you're really looking for your person. If you're just, hey, I'll be with this person for a year. And oh, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll be with this person for 2 years. Oh, well, if that doesn't work out. If you're really looking for your person that you want to spend the rest of your life with long term, there's a lot of things that have to go into consideration. And people are not putting these things into consideration. And that's the biggest problem.
And this is where I have to disagree, because the average relationship before marriage lasts between 3 to 5 years, some even 8 to 10, right? So it's a long process. And most relationships take longer to get there because of the constant battle. Most men won't actually marry unless they're economically efficient. Plus, there's a lot of a lot of tough arguments that you kind of.
People are not economically efficient, though, Ruthless.
Huh?
Most people are not economically efficient, though.
Yeah, but the ones who get married,
there's broke people getting together every day.
But the men who get married pretty much are economically efficient, right? Pretty much all of them. It's very rare you see people get married and men are not economic, because women won't take the ring. And women won't take the ring. They're like, look.
I can't agree with that. Broke people get together every day, Ruthless. I'm telling you.
Women ain't playing about that.
That's why they don't have weddings sometimes. They just go straight to the courthouse. Everybody that's getting married, a good majority, are not having some big fancy wedding. They don't have it like that.
Let me tell you something. These women in 2026 will not take that ring if you do not think of she's not getting what you want, she thinks she deserves. Because she's not settling, right? It's not doing that. It's not in 20. Maybe in 1980, yeah, 75, but not in 2026. These women are saying,
because so many people just don't have it. It's a lie to sit here and think that, oh, women just are looking at men that have all this money. Because what is the percentage of men that have all these money? I think people need to stop looking at celebrities and look at people that are in real life. Most people don't have it like that. And that's just so bad.
This is true. But the problem, let me tell you what ruined the game. Social media ruined the game, right? Because women, once again, are delusional. And they live in their delusion because it makes them feel good. And it makes them feel like they're somebody. And if that man and their lifestyle isn't matching their delusion, they will move off that man. And they will do it. I can struggle all by myself, right? This is the independent mindset. I don't need a man. So,
and I don't disagree with that point, because I think some women are delusional.
And
it's like I think some men are too.
Yeah, we are delusional, but our delusions, good point, furthermore. Men are delusional, women are delusional, but our delusions are different. Okay? So men, we're delusional, think that a woman only wants us for our character. And you know what I mean? That's the delusion that men don't think women are using them, right? That's an illusion which men kind of play to, which is stupid. And women are delusional about the expectation they have for these men to reach, sometimes it's a comparison to social media or comparison to their girlfriends if they're married and they find a guy who's doing that has better life than what they think, oh yeah, they'll leave your ass. So both of us are delusional. You're right, but men, we don't look to take resources from women. We don't look to like, okay, I need her to take care of me. I need her to pay my bills. We don't think like that, right? Even though I'm not saying that we don't want women to chip in, because you're all right, the time's a little tougher. So we might want her to get a little job and chip in. But we do not look for women to take care of us. We take on that duty. Women the opposite, right? They look to be taken care of.
Well, you're thinking of men that actually are on their purpose. There's a lot of men that are not on their purpose, also ruthless, that are looking for a handout from women. You see them at the women's house. They never had a place of their own. They bounce from woman to woman, so there is that aspect of it too.
So now now you talk about the homosexual, they're the minority. They're less than 0.1% of the population. Let me get that clear. Right? Majority of men are average and have average income, right? They're not sleeping on women's couches, right? They have apartments or whatever. They just, right? So once again, and most women aren't taking homosexuals in. Like, it's like a whole bunch of women line up for homosexuals, right? It's rare, right? It's rare. And most of these issues are in the white, maybe I say the white trash or the ghetto or the, real poor. So they're kind of proximity, right? But now when you get into,
I agree with the proximity part.
Yeah. But now when you get into a woman who's educated, a woman who's come from two family or a decent family background, a woman who's has in her purpose, she's not taking a homosexual, period, which is the majority of women, right? Majority of women. This is what women rather do before. A woman rather sell her coochie than to take care of a man. Let's make that clear. She rather sell her vagina than to bow down to a man and be serving him for him. Majority of women, they will do that to take care of themselves. That's their survival mode. And I'm not saying all women do this, but I'm saying if push comes to shove, for freedom and liberty as a woman to be a boss bitch or to be the leader, she will do whatever it takes. And that is sell her coochie even and make her money and still have her freedom. So
some women will.
Yeah. So women aren't signing up. Women are not putting a sign up for homosexuals. And let me make one thing clear. Most homosexuals, these are niggas getting out of prison or gang members or some sort of, and they have a history tied to this woman, maybe way back in high school. And it's just, she got some feelings for him. It's just a situationship. This is rare, very rare. These things.
I don't think it's rare for men to move in with women.
Very rare.
There's a lot of different things that fall into that category. So I won't say it's rare, ruthless.
Rare.
Maybe it's not majority, but it happens more times than I think you
No, it's less
acknowledging.
It's less than 0.1% of the population.
I don't know about that. I'm going to have to look up that stat.
Look it up. Women don't. Number one is women don't let men move in with them, because if a man even doesn't have the thing she thinks is efficient for her, like this nigga's living in a 1-bedroom box, she's going to move off of him. Women have no problem with getting rid of dudes. That's what you got to understand, for the most. They will get rid of niggas so fast because they will prioritize their delusion or their illusion of happiness. Once again,
I don't know. Like I said, I have to look up the stat, but I don't agree with you on that because I have seen many different situations where men move in with women.
Well, like I said, once again, right? Now, I will say this, friend Mortals, to give you, I'll help you a little bit, right? There are women, and it will change, it will become a little bit more in the future. There are women who have a lot of money, and they want power. They want a lot of power, and the rich man, the men on their level, don't want to succumb. They will take a guy, move them in to rule over him even more, right? Some women, once again, because we already know that even guys who make the most money, they're still serving that woman. But if that guy who makes the most money has too many options and he's Because most rich men, they're not marrying, or they want to exercise the options. So these women with money will go and take a guy who makes less money than them, so she can dog walk this nigga and feel good about it. This is what there are
But
good
look, on
women
the
that do
other
it.
side, there are women that try to help men get on their feet as well.
No, they want them
Yes,
to stay
there
poor.
is ruthless, and
There's
that's
some
why I
women.
think some women have become bitter and say they're not helping a man out, because there has been plenty of situations where a woman has let a man move in, she has helped him out, and then when he got on his feet, he left her. She was a placeholder to help him get on his feet. Situations like that happen all the time, Ruthless. And you're being disingenuous if you say that it does not.
So what I'm saying, once again, right? Those situations do happen, but a lot of times the men leave because while in that situation, she was dog walking, calling me, "Set your broke ass up, set your broke ass that get you get out of leave." She belittled him so much. So one thing about women, when they got the power and the money, any argument, you better say, "Yes, ma'am," because if you try to stand up to her, she'll say, "Level your broke ass down." Women will let you know you broke, even if they with you. They will let you. They're gonna hammer that shit in until you understand. And that's why when a lot of men come up, they're like, "I'm out of here," because I just can't. It's just the power is too much on one side. He should never let him out of that. Even if he makes more money, she's never gonna let him out of that stranglehold. So he has to leave and go try to go somewhere else he can lead or be at least a man.
So
That's
then in
why.
that situation, you think since he was not being treated right, it was justified for him to leave that situation, correct?
Yeah, because you don't want him to cheat.
So then why aren't women justified to leave if they're not being treated right?
Women can leave it like they want to, but the only thing, only reason I'm a little bit on women for the motives is a lot of their reason they leave has nothing to do with the men. It has everything to do with eternal conflict, right? They're easily influenced. They are delusional, and they are driven and enslaved to the way they feel and their emotions. So, with that being said, they're leaving because they're not happy. And we understand that anybody who plays into their emotions heavily is fleeting, right? Because we know that happiness is fleeting. We know that you get sad, depressed. All these things come into an emotional imbalance, right? That's the thing about it. This is why the balance of the relationship is supposed to be the man, because I'm not saying we're not emotional, but we're a little less emotional. So it's the balance, right? This is why lesbian relationships don't work. That's why they're even more violent, because there's no balance. It's two women being emotional and they just don't know how to deal with it.
I'll give you that. Some women are more emotional than men. I think we see a lot of emotional men these days, but
Everybody's emotional. Everybody's emotional
in their own way.
Men, we don't invest heavy in our emotions though, right? We more in duty. We're about duty. That's why your army, your soldiers will be dominating men, right? Because you send a dude to go to war, take people out. You don't need him to be in his emotions. You need him to be able to follow orders. So we understand that, right? So it's clear, right? Men, not saying we're not emotional. I'm not saying there are, to your point, for the motives, I've been to prison, right? Even in prison, as men, we assimilate, and homies they know that they get angry real fast. They want to destroy everything. They elect to do our shot caller to be the least emotional person of all of us. This is how we pick our leader, right? He got to be sound, right? He has to be even, balanced, well thought. So, with that being said,
and then wait a minute, because don't move from that point real quick.
Yeah,
right. What you just said right there. You don't think that the women that are looking for a man that is a leader don't want the same thing? Why would a woman want to be under a man's authority that can't even handle his emotions, that can't even discipline himself, The same thing you said about the leader that you would want to be under. He has to be of sound mind. He can't be a crash out. He has to be able to control himself, have discipline, have strategy.
Well,
you don't think you don't think the women that do want a man that is a leader, that she wants to be under his covering and his authority, you don't think she's going to look at it the same way you just put it?
No, because women aren't looking for leaders. Men.
So no women are looking for leaders, Rufus.
Men are better followers than women because we understand strategy. This is why men are we're the apex predators, right? Because we understand structure, and any man who exhibits a little bit of emotions, a little bit more, we won't put him as a leader. But here's the problem with your argument, Fredamotos.
Mm-hmm.
Women lean into their emotions. So they're looking for a man who's emotionally intelligent. So that means they're looking for a man who's going to cater to their emotions. See, they're opposite of men. That
doesn't mean the same thing, Ruthless.
I'm gonna break it down to you. A woman they want somebody like them, right? They want a man who placates to her emotional imbalance. This is where she feels bonding, right? She feels they're her person. This is the difference between men and women, right? And men, we lean on duty and respect. Women, emotions, how they feel. That's the difference between us two. Now, when it comes to relationship dynamics, war, and when we talk about war situation, conflict, right? So you have to be evenly balanced when you're dealing with bullets coming at you're playing this war zone, right? You're literally your enemy sleeps right under you, right? Where now in a relationship dynamic, it is a different ball game because it's two people supposed to love each other, right? You guys are not supposed to be enemies. So therefore, what makes it difficult in relationship is once the love triangle is formed, the problem with the love triangle is the woman. The man, part of the man's love triangle is provide, protect, and respect. Right? That's his love language. That's his love triangle. Women love triangle is to appreciate, support, cater, and love. Right? So those are women's triangle. But the problem with the women, they have the same ambition as the men. So therefore, when we come together, because you want the same authority of demand, a command of respect and equality, it becomes a conflict of interest. And that's where the arguments start going back and forth. Because if a man comes in and tries to lead, she says, no.
Okay, but here's the thing, Ruthless. What you were describing, that's more of coddling or enabling. That has nothing to do with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is simply it's like 5 components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. It's not being a doormat. It's not avoiding conflict. It's not coddling grown people, enabling bad behavior, people pleasing, or always being nice. So it's not the same thing. You're talking about a woman that wants a man to coddle her and enable her. That's not the same thing as emotional intelligence. It's simply not.
That it actually, well, you actually made my point. So emotional intelligence means he's intelligent enough to recognize when to coddle her and her emotions. That's what it means. Because there's no really such word as emotional intelligence, right? Because emotions and intelligence don't go together, right? Intelligence is one thing, emotions is another, right? I could, like, for example, if I'm driving my car on the freeway, my intellect and my intelligence, I understand. But watch this, though. When I'm driving my car on the freeway, right, I got the intelligence enough to know how to change lanes, use my blinkers, right? If somebody cuts me off and triggers my emotions, now I'm no longer acting intelligently. I'm acting, fuck you, fuck the world, right? That is emotional trigger, which, right? So they're two different things. But women cloud it into one. You got, I guess it's the word you guys champion the most is they're looking for a man. I hear a lot of women say, I want him to be emotionally intelligent, meaning she wants you to be intelligent enough to understand how to placate to her emotional imbalance. And to give an
No,
example of
that's
that,
not what it means, Ruthless. I just explained it to you.
so me, yeah, but right, but men, but how I want to say this, but how I want to say this, she wants him to do that, but he can't because we're opposite. We are logic. We are solution based. Women. So, for example, if I come in the bathroom and my woman's crying, I said, "What's wrong, baby? What's wrong?" My weight. I don't like my weight. I've gained too much weight. Now, right there, when you say that, automatically come with a solution. Man, this is how we're built. We're automatically come with a solution. The gym is right down the street. Let's go. But I can't say that. That's not being emotionally intelligent.
Well,
Right?
you should, but I don't believe that. I feel like you should be able to say, "Well, let's get together and let's start going to the gym."
So
I
that's
don't
how
see
I took.
anything wrong with that.
That's how I took my lax ex from her man because she did that to him, and he told him, "You're fat. Get to the gym," and she crucified him. He was
Well,
honest with her. He was honest with her. He was honest with her. And guess
well,
what?
if you just said you're fat, get in the gym.
She didn't say it
That's
like
one
that.
thing, but I mean, it depends
That's
on
true.
however he said it. But if he said, "Well, let's start working out. There's a gym right down the street,"
And then she gonna say to you, "Are you saying that I'm fat?" I'm
but
telling you.
if
I
she
heard
was
her
just
story.
crying about her weight, then she
Heard her
already
motive.
knows she's
Heard her
overweight.
motive. You know what I did when my girl asked me that? Because she did gain weight, right? You know what she asked me? I told her, "You fine, baby. You sexy. You know where I love you." I knew I had to lie, right? Ain't no way. Because she told me, right? How she did her last man. When it was my turn up, I knew I could not tell the truth. Even though she's going to put on a few extra pounds.
But
But I was
see,
like,
that's the
baby,
thing, though,
I said,
Ruthless. You
baby,
should be able to tell the truth with your partner.
women,
You don't have
women.
to say it harshly.
No, I'm just saying, even if there's no way to tell the truth to a woman. You got to lie. If she tell you how I look at this dress, nigga, you better say she look good, or else it's gonna be a hostile environment. You're not getting none. She finna block you for a little bit, maybe talk you. Women, listen, I deal with you guys on the highest level. I have a fiance, so I understand this emotional imbalance, right? And for a long time, I couldn't figure it out until I got with my last girlfriend when she was telling me everything because she had a boyfriend when I met her, and she would tell me everything, and everything was. I'm like, damn, that's not even worth leaving him. I would say that in my mind, but I wanted her because she was a bad bitch. So I'm like, damn, I want her. But so I'm gonna have to. All I did was reverse the game back to her. Well, I would never do that. I would never tell you that, or I would never say that. And she ended up being with me. She dumped him for me, right? And then I ended up having to get rid of her because once again, that's why I would never do that again.
Well, see, you was looking for the wrong thing, so it started off wrong already.
Well,
first of all, she already had a man, and number two, you're looking for a bad B instead of a woman that has good qualities, and that's the problem with a lot of men. They're looking. Goes back to what I said. You keep going for the same type, the same type, the same type. You get the same results. It's just like women, if they keep going for the same type that they know is not going to be good for them, that is going to dog them out. If you keep picking the same types, you're going to get the same result.
So the thing is, okay, so that's not why I got with her because she was a bad bitch. That was part of it. That was part of me wanting. I got with her because we had a connection. All right?
But if she already had a man, Ruthless, that's a red flag off top.
Listen, we was friends for a year before we even got together while she had a man, right? I even tried to help her save her relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
back to her.
But here's the deal, right? The thing I'm telling to you is it was nothing about him, it was everything about her. And I didn't realize that till after our relationship was over. I was like, damn. Because women, the thing about you guys hold grudges. You guys are petty. You guys have anger management issues. Some of you, not all of you guys have the extreme, some more extreme than others, but all of you guys hold grudges. You guys have a problem with letting things go. And that was the number one thing that I said, okay, there's just no way that you can be in a long-term, healthy relationship, because the only way it's going to be healthy is somebody has to forgive and let shit go. Both of you guys got to forgive. And if one person
I agree on that part. Yes.
And this is the women have a problem with letting the past go. It's the problem. They're petty. They're, as soon as y'all argue, oh, remember what you did. And this was, I'm just saying, somebody did 3 years ago. She's bringing it up like it doesn't happen. So all I've said is this, right? The only way a relationship is going to work today, or any long term, for the man, he will have to happy wife, happy life, because women are quitters. Women don't give a fuck. If their emotions, they feel that you're not the ones are no longer are placating to the way they feel. This is why they leave the most. This is why they take the kids. They'll take the kids and they don't care, right? They don't care because they look at you as expendable, because they would never love the man more than they love themselves. And as long as a woman loves herself more than love the man, that means he will always be expendable.
Well, I just feel like, and I have to get going, but I just feel like people are getting into relationships for the wrong reasons. And I definitely think that people need to take a good look at themselves, men and women, hold themselves accountable, reevaluate some things, heal if you need to heal before you even think about getting in a relationship, period. That should be the last thing. And I think it's all about discipline. Sure, we all are lonely. Sure, we all want to have sex or whatever it is. We want companionship. But until you do the inner work, get your mind right, get yourself together mentally, even physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you don't need to be thinking about no relationship. People get into relationships just so they can have somebody. And that's a recipe for disaster and failure every time.
So the thing, and then I'm gonna go in the show. The thing about it is, Ruthless has a solution.
Ruthless, please.
I think women, in my estimated opinion, are better in short-term capacity than long-term equity. I just don't think, because I don't think women are best suited for long-term equity because of the imbalanced emotional roller coaster. Even if the problem with the woman is her emotion, because she leans on her emotion and feeling so much, that means change is imminent, right? She changes a lot with her emotion, because emotions change, they're fleeting. So long-term equity is very low turn on your investment. She most likely, either she's gonna leave you or she'll stay in that relationship and dominate you. One of the two. Because you have to acquiesce to the way she feels. Because she is more the ideology of self-love. And women think they're the prize. Women think the relationship and the world revolves around them. They want it all, right? So long-term will be unhealthy, in my opinion. Short-term adequacy is where women excel at, in my opinion, because less responsibility, the more better they are. Because the way I feel about it. That's the way I see it, man. Do
I
not
hear
marry
you.
these women. Do not marry them.
Well,
do not get any long-term relationships.
I can agree with you on some. I don't think you need to be in a long-term relationship, but I don't know the ins and outs. So I can agree with you on some points. Like, I just think that people need to really reevaluate themselves, reevaluate life, reevaluate the person who they're getting involved with before they take them seriously. And on that note, I have to go. It's been
Have a
nice.
good night. Thank y'all for coming. I'm in the show. Hit the like
Have a
button,
good night.
subscribe. Great talk to you, Fear No Mortals. And Kills, good night.